Hi guys, in this video we'll take a look at merged case sorted list problem. Difficulty level on this problem is hard, but I hope that once we go through all the approaches on the whiteboard and once we look at the code, it should not feel like a hard problem. So let's our fingers crossed, let's look at it. So we are given case sorted list and then we need to merge them into one linked list such that all the elements in the new list are sorted. So our first example, we have three linked lists, they are sorted, and then we need to return one large merged list, which is sorted in itself. In our second example, we have four linked lists. Again, they are sorted within themselves, and we need to merge them into one single linked list. So that's our problem description. Let's head to the whiteboard. We'll look at three different approaches, and then we'll come back and run the code for each of the approach.
So let's look at our merged case sorted list problem. Before we start here, I want to mention that we'll be reusing algorithm merge to sorted list algorithm. So if you haven't done it, or if you guys are not aware of how to merge two linked lists which are sorted, then I would recommend that pause this video right here right now and then go and watch that video. It's a short 5-minute video, it's a simple one, so you guys can finish that and then come back and then we can continue on this one. So link should come on top right now, so go ahead and watch it. So moving on, so for this problem, merged case sorted list and not merged to sorted list, we'll be taking this sample data set. So let's assume that we have 8 linked list and then each list has 10 elements, so total 80 elements. So in a simple way, in a simple brute force way, what we'll do is we'll take two lists and then we'll merge them into one, so we'll have 20 elements, and then we'll hold on to the list and then we'll pick another list and we'll merge it into one, so we'll have 30 elements. Then we'll hold on to this, we'll merge one more list, we'll have 40 elements, and likewise we'll keep continuing until we have all 80 elements in one single linked list and they are all merged and sorted. So what are we doing here? So if you notice, we are merging 70 and 10 elements, so we are totally working on 80 elements, and over here we are working on 60 plus 10, so we are working on 70 elements. So likewise we are like 80, 70, 60, 50, 30, 40, 30, 20, so we are working on those elements at one at a time. So in all, we are merging, or we are like comparing 350 elements to merge total 80 elements into one single list. So that's simple approach, nothing wrong with it, but are there ways that we can improve this? So yes, there are three ways or three approaches we can take to improve this same process and have the same result but in a faster way. So let's look at those three approaches. So the first approach that we'll be taking will be using queue. So this is our sample data set, same as what we discussed. And in this approach, what we'll do is we'll merge two lists at a time. So instead of picking one list at a time, we'll be merging two. So we'll merge these two into 20 elements. We'll merge these two into 20 elements, and likewise. So once we have these four lists, we'll repeat the process. We'll merge these two into one list, so 40 elements, merge these two into 40 elements, and eventually we'll have two lists only and we'll merge them into one list and we'll have 80 elements. So if you notice, what we are doing is at any point of time we are operating on 80 elements. So 10 plus 10 20, 10 plus 10 20, 20 20, so we are operating on 80 elements. So same here, we are operating on 80 elements, and for the last one also we are operating on 80 elements. So all in all, we are working on 240 elements, we are comparing 240 elements, whatever you say. So this is definitely better than the previous approach where we were working on 350 elements. So that's why I would say that this is a better approach. So what is the time complexity on it? So let's assume that n is the total number of elements, so n is 80 and k is the number of lists we have, so our time complexity would be n log k. So we know that log of 8 to the base 2 is 3. So let's look at one more example. So let's say that instead of 8 lists we had 16 lists. So what would we be doing? So we'll be merging, or we'll be grouping two into one, two lists into one. So instead of 16 lists, in next step we'll have 8 lists, and in next step we'll have 4, next step we'll have 2, and then last step we'll have 1 list. So for 16 lists we'll be doing, or this chart will have 4 levels. So instead of 3 levels for 8 lists, for 16 lists we'll have 4 levels. So that's what proves this log k. So our time complexity is n log k. So let's look at the code again. If you guys understood this, the code should be simple enough. So we're getting a list array, and what we are doing is we are initializing a queue, and then at the start we are adding all the heads of this list into queue. So heads of all the 8 lists are in queue, and then we are looping until the queue size is 1. So until all the elements are merged, we keep looping. So what we do, we take out 2 lists from the queue. So we take out first 2 from queue, we merge them, we call merge 2 list, and then we add the merge list at the bottom of the queue. Then we pick 2 more lists from the queue, we repeat the process. So keep merging 2 lists, add into queue, keep merging 2 lists, add into queue. So likewise we'll have this. So that's the queue approach, and that's the time complexity for this approach. So I do want to mention that to have this approach, or to implement this approach, we don't have to use queue. I mean, we can reuse this simply list array, right? We merge. So let me draw it, right? I'll better explain. So let's say we have 8 lists, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have our list array of 8 lists. So now we can merge this 2 lists into one, and we can keep it here. We can merge these 2 lists and we can keep it here. We can merge these 2 lists and keep it here. We can merge these 2 lists and keep it here. And likewise, we can repeat the process. We can again merge these 2 lists, keep it here. We can again merge these 2 lists, keep it here. And then finally we can merge these 2 lists and keep it here, and this will be our result. So it's not necessary to use queue. You can implement same approach using the input array itself. I just feel it's a little bit easier to implement it, so that you don't have to do the math of calculating the index and everything. But you guys decide, like, you guys be the judge. Whichever approach you guys like, implement that. So having discussed that, I want to mention that if you guys like this approach, or if you like doing this way, then the next approach that we are going to do is recursion. Would be interesting for you guys. So let's look at how we'll solve the same problem using recursion. So this is our code for merging k list recursively. So let's look at the code first, and then we'll break down the code to understand more. So we have merge k list function with list array and the 2 indexes left and right. So initially we'll call merge k list with 0 as left index and length of the list as 7 as right index. So we just have 2 exit condition. If right is less than left, then return null. If right is equal to left, then obviously return that list. And then what we do is we take a midpoint, left plus right divided by 2, and then we call merge k twice, from left to mid and mid plus 1 to right. And then once these 2 are done, we simply call merge 2 list, and then we return merged a list of those 2 lists. So let's see how this works. So initially we'll call merge k list for 0 to 7, assuming that we are taking the same data set. So we call merge 0 to 7, and now this breaks down into 2 calls, right? So we take a midpoint, 0 plus 7 divided by 2, which is 3. So we say merge k list from 0 to 3, merge k list from 4 to 7. Now these will again break down into 2. Merge list 0 to 1, 3 plus 0 divided by 2, which is 1. So merge of 0, 1 and merge of 2, 3, and likewise merge of 4, 5 and merge of 6, 7. Now these will actually call merge 2 list. So this will merge 2 list, return 1 list. This will merge 2 list, return 1 list, and likewise we'll have one final merge list, and which will be all the 80 elements. So this is exactly similar to what we discussed earlier in the queue approach, but in a reverse manner. I mean, since recursion is stack, the calls are on the stack, it's stack, so it's reverse of queue. However, it's the chart, if you look at this chart, it's exactly same approach, and the time complexity is also same. So there you go. This is the recursive way of doing the same problem. And now we'll look at one more approach which will use minimum heap. So in Java it's priority queue, but underlying data structure is heap. So we'll use min heap to solve the same problem, and we'll see if we have the same time complexity or if it's different or what. Okay, let's look at our final approach, which is using a heap min heap approach. So without going much detail into heap data structure, let's all assume that this is min heap, where it's always kind of sorted and the minimum element in all would be always at the top. So we can pick this minimum element and we can take it out, and then whenever we add new element, it'll always like arrange itself so that minimum element is always at the top. There are tons of video out there on how heap works and what are its concepts and all that, so feel free to watch those things. So let's look at the code first, and then we'll visualize it. So we are initializing a priority queue, and then we are adding all the head of all the list in priority queue. So let's say we have these 8 lists and we've added this into heap. So let's assume that the element from list 6 was the smallest one amongst 8 of them. So that's why L6 at top, and then rest are arranged based on their values. And what we do next is we create a dummy node, and then we start traversing through the priority queue, and we'll start putting the nodes after dummy nodes. So that'll be our merge list. So what we do is we pick the topmost node from it. So we pick this is the smallest element, we pick it and we put it in the dummy node. So that's start of our merge list. And then what we do is we say that, okay, so let's say we picked L6, list 6. So we say, by the way, list 6, is your next node null? So no, then we add the next node from list 6 into this priority queue. So what will happen is, let's say list 6 second node is not the smallest one, but it's somewhere there. So we removed this and we added one more node into this, which is from list 6, but it's not smallest, but it is. So what will happen is, let's say if this became the smallest one, list 3. So list 3 will go here, and then list 6 will come here. Let's say it was the second smallest kind of thing. So the heap will arrange itself like that, and we'll keep doing that. In next iteration, we'll pick the node from list 3 and then put it in our merge list, and then add another element from list 3. So we'll keep doing that until all the elements are processed. So that's high level heap approach. Again, pretty easy to understand. So we know that time complexity to insert element in heap is log of n. So since we have 8 lists, the time complexity to insert element and to remove element is log of 8, which is log of k. And we have 80 elements, so 80 times we'll be inserting elements and removing elements. So it'll be 80 log 8, which is n log k. I mean, ideally it should be 2 n log k, but 2 is linear, it doesn't change with n. So the time complexity is n log k. So there you go, all 3 approaches having same time complexity and different way to implement thing, but the output and the result is same.
Okay, guys, this is the final code. So the first one is merge k list using queue, simple queue. So similar to what we seen on the whiteboard, we add all the heads of all the no list in the queue, and then we pick 2 lists at a time, we merge them, and then we add it back to the queue. And we keep doing that until queue size is 1. So that'll be our merge list, and then we return that merge list. So let's run it. I have 4 lists out there. So yeah, these are the 4 lists that we have, and this is the final merge list. So just look at high level, like there are 2 ones from list 0 and 3. So there are 2 ones, and our largest number is 100, largest number is 100. So that's our final merge list. So let's look at the next approach, which is using recursion. So let's go to main method. Let's comment this out. Let's recursion, sorry. Yeah, there you go. So I have these four same lists. We're just calling recursion. So uh, this is our recursion method. So again, exactly same to what we discussed on the whiteboard. Our two exit conditions, and then we figure out midpoint, and then we call left portion of that midpoint merge k-list recursively, right side of the portion merge k-list recursively, and once they come back, we merge those two lists. So let's run this, and we should get similar output. Yeah, so same four list, similar output, 100 at last, two ones at first, and all that. So that's merge k-list recursively. Let's look at the one using priority queue. So I'll comment this and then priority queue. So again, if you guys understood what we discussed on the whiteboard, then this should be straightforward. Uh, we create a priority queue and then we add all the heads into priority queue. This is the n-log k approach. I'm not adding all the elements into priority queue. So and then we pick one element at a time, and whichever the element we pick, it is from whichever list, we put the next element from that list again into priority queue so that it again sorts itself, and then we again pick the next element. So, and then finally we just return the head.next. Head is our dummy node, and let's run it. So there you go. The same merge list, same output that we expected. So all the three approaches with same output, same result and everything. So there's just one additional thing that we can do in heap if needed. So there you go. So I apologize for the long video, but I hope you guys learned something valuable. You guys understood it, and it was worth your time. So if all that was true, give me thumbs up and let me know your feedback, suggestion in comments. Let me know which approach you guys like the most and why. And as usual, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you.